Rust-proofing. The Chiefs have just come out on the ice for a warm-up period. They're about to try for their 5th consecutive win. They're getting a good round of applause from their own booster club, who have traveled all the way from Charlestown to be here in Peterborough tonight.
Need more energy throughout the day? Looking for a kick to your workout? RockinThatIDLife.com has you covered with delicious flavors you've grown to love in tropical fruit and mixed berry, but now fall in love with the new fruit punch and orange flavors. Try them all at RockinThatIDLife.com.
Realtor Mike Burgoyne with Real Brokerage LLC makes the moving process easier. Work with a realtor who plays and studies the game and will work as hard as the boys on the ice to get you the best deal. Check out Mike on the web at strikewithmike.com and jumpstart your move today. That's strikewithmike.com. Welcome to episode 27 of season 11. This is episode number 403 all time of the often imitated, never duplicated, I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. We're the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Special thanks to our sponsors, RockinThatIDLife.com, StrikeWithMike.com, and CenterIceBrewery.com for proudly sponsoring the show. Please check them out. And also, don't forget to check out our t-shirt shop at Let'sGoBlues.com. I'm not saying this for my health. I'm asking, pleading, begging, nicely, for those of you out there to just check out the t-shirt shop. Give it a look. If you like something, maybe consider giving it a purchase. It is Saturday, February 18th. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Yes, sir.
It is not Saturday.
It is not Saturday. It's Wednesday, March 8th. Is it March 8th? It is March 8th.
It is March 8th.
March 8th. Why do I have February 18th? It is Wednesday, March 8th. I'll start over for the podcast. It's Wednesday, March 8th. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. To interact with the show on social media, our handle on all the socials is at LGB Radio. I'm Kurt Price. My co-host for the big show tonight is Jeff Ponder and Bill Day. Producer Austin is lurking in the background, pulling some strings. The agenda for today includes discussion of boots. The big loss to the Arizona Coyotes, or the Coyotes if you're Jeff Ponder. Jakub Vrana, or your Jim Thomas, Jakub Vrana in his first game with the Blues. We'll kind of talk about how he looked to us. Kapanen's played a handful of games with us now. We'll kind of look at what he's done, and the Blues are now the 9th worst team in the NHL record-wise. The Blues do make a couple of moves, and the Minnesota Wild kind of make a mess of Pride Night a little bit, along with a couple other teams. The team's just kind of getting in line with this kind of screwing up Pride Night thing now. So, and Ryan O'Reilly breaks his finger, and he'll be out for a while, which it's the
I hear his
Leafs,
finger
right?
is like his stick. It's like this right now.
Oh, just the
Curve
tip?
at the end.
Just
the tip. Just see how it feels.
Just to see. All that and more on this exciting, titillating episode of Let's Go Blues Radio. Fellas, how are you how you hanging tonight? A little to the left?
A little to the left, short shrivel, a little to the left. As you can see, I'm in full rooting for other teams mode, right? So
Okay.
I'm going Coyotes up top. I got Flyers, right? Go Flyers.
You are reversed.
You are.
Just notice that.
You're
I
backwards.
am.
Yeah, you got to fix that on your
Hang
on
on.
your end there.
Hang on.
Because
hang
I
on.
did
How do
because the flyer was flying backwards. There you
okay,
there
is
you
that better?
go. There
All
you
right.
go.
All right. How did that happen? That never happens for me. So yeah, we got Coyotes. We got, guys, even though I got the Flyers and it's a Pronger jersey, this just doesn't feel right. Hang on.
Is that a Provorov jersey?
Off.
Okay. And he's taking off the jersey. He's got a fucking Blackhawks jersey on.
Much better, guys. Much better.
That didn't work tonight.
Is that a Kyle Beach jersey?
This is, you know what? I'll even give you the number. Who do you think this is? This is for those on the podcast. I just took off the Flyers jersey. I have a Chicago Blackhawks jersey on now.
Smith.
It's
Not
Duncan
Smith.
Keith.
Not
Duncan
Duncan Keith.
Wait, you gave us the
Number two.
I gave you the number. This was prior to Duncan Keith.
Prior to Duncan Keith, who wore
I don't think you guys would ever get this in a million years. His brother had a very serious moment with Chris Pronger once.
A serious moment with Chris Pronger.
Oh,
His
Boris
heart
Moranov.
Boris Moranov. Yes,
Why-
I have a Boris Moranov Blackhawks jersey because I was a crazy teenager.
Apparently.
Is that
So these jersey switching jokes do anything for you guys?
Flyers
You
to
got one
Hawks?
more under there?
I thought about
Are you like
it,
popping
but
collars in the 80s? You got 3 or 4 of them there?
I thought about going. I can't keep this on any longer. I'm sorry. I cannot wear this fucking jersey. No, I thought about going with another team, but now I can't hear you. Please continue.
I was going to say you're taking your jersey off and your headset's still on. How's this going to work? There you
All right.
go. There you go.
Yeah, I thought about doing a couple more, but I was like, nah. You know what? That bit is gonna get old real quick.
Well, I mean,
Oh my god, we gotta bring him in here.
Yeah.
oh, he's wearing Austin's
Go
wearing his
Preds!
Predators
You
jersey.
done fucked up, Austin, because the Predators are already ahead of the Blues in the standings. So who cares? All right, bye, Austin.
I mean, I don't think I could ever bring myself. Okay, so he's wearing the jersey. Does he ever find himself rooting for the Predators? No. Okay.
He
He says no.
No.
All right.
Good. I honestly, like, we joked about it earlier. The Blackhawks just won against the Red Wings. I still can't root for the Blackhawks.
Fuck
win.
no.
No.
Why?
just
Why
can't.
would he?
I thought the Wings won. What's that?
Yes. The Wings won. You're right.
4-3.
Thanks, Austin. Appreciate that. Bill, me and Kurt have been hugging the mic. How are you? How was your week?
Finished work about 5 minutes before the show started tonight. So real good there. And Kurt's got a buddy.
He does.
I do.
You do. You have a
Dexter's
buddy
rubbing.
behind you. Yep.
My Great Pyrenees is just standing behind me and staring into the trash can. I think there's something in there he wants.
Probably.
No, but just go. I gave you food. You go. Go eat your own food. Don't eat out of the trash.
We've been house sitting my in-laws
civilized people.
dog, and my God, my dog and that dog have just been all week. I work from home all week. Bark, bark, bark. Come downstairs, fight. Go upstairs. Bark, bark, bark. Come downstairs, fight. That's all they have done all week, and I'm ready for it to be over.
Let's see. What do we got here? We got some announcements.
We do.
Yeah. Congrats to all the Blue Note Cup winners from over the weekend. That was held at the Centene Center, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Big day out there. Man, parking was ridiculous. Listener Leon, his stepson, was, and I want to especially call this one out. Chesterfield Falcons 12 and under A1 team. They had a double overtime win over the St. Louis Rockets. That was exciting. I'm not just saying that because it's a listener of the show and a good friend of mine and his stepson. That was ridiculous. That was a lot of fun to watch, seeing it live, seeing the parents just go nuts. So Leon's stepson did take a penalty late, and they scored on the power play to make it, I believe it was 2-2. And I thought, oh no, don't let that be the death nail. We've all been in situations like that, right? Like,
No, never.
you take a dumb penalty or
Never
you
have.
do something late to screw up your
Not
team's
once.
chances.
Not once.
Yep, me neither. Yeah, me neither. No, of course not.
I was suspended for a fucking playoff game because I got into it with a guy and we lost that playoff game.
Yep. And that's what I was thinking. I'm like, don't let this happen to a 12-year-old. Good Lord. But they ended up pulling through in double overtime, winning the game 4-on-4. Very exciting stuff. So congrats to all Blue Note Cup winners. I saw a couple games there. Always a fun weekend. So I'm sure the kids, all of you had a great time. And hey, you didn't win this year, come back next year.
And this has been going on since 2017 when the St. Louis Blues and Missouri Youth Hockey Division collaborated to grow the youth hockey state championships. And the Blue Note Cup has been a marquee event for young athletes around the area since 2017. So
they didn't have that shit when I was growing up.
No, me neither.
And I'm looking at the list of winners here. There's 14 under, 10 under, 12 under, C1, C3, A3, bunch of different divisions. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, they didn't have that many when we were kids, guys.
There's a ton.
It's blown up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Like 20 divisions. No, more than that. Like 30. At least 35. Man, it's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's good hockey. Like I said, the parking. Have you guys been to Centene yet?
I have not.
The parking lot's massive. I mean, it is huge. And I could not find a spot. My son was getting pissed because we just kept circling a lot. He's in the back seat just yelling at me. And I'm like, what do you want me to do, dude? Like, go drive up on the hill and park on the hill? Like, come on. Go park at the casino?
Jeff, you so the announcement number 2, Jeff, you got a Summer Series announcement?
Yes, we do.
Sharp, Spezza fakes it. The Sharp, wide open, and knocked out of midair by Shattenkirk. Saved a goal, a clear goal, and he knocked it right out of midair. Great pass to O'Reilly, through the legs of Heischer, to Tarasenko, to Pietrangelo. Shoots, he scores! What a play! The Rangers have killed 16 in a row. Homo Tarasenko, my shot! And he scores with an unbelievable one-handed tuck-in goal! And the Blues have tied the game on a highlight reel goal! Comes on back now to Pietrangelo. Pietrangelo holding, got it to Bouwmeester. Shoots one, score! Bouwmeester! It was deflected in front by O'Reilly, and it becomes 1-0. The Blues with the lead. Both Brown and Carter led the club with 8 power play goals. Stop! Yes! Oh my God! The Blues a short-handed goal to win it. Alexander Steen.
Shin got that. A Achari shot. There's a rebound. Markstrom. Great save by Binnington.
So there it is.
So I'm in this.
Yeah.
Yes, Kurt's in the running. For those of you on the podcast, and Kurt, I'll go ahead and tell you, I have another version I'm going to send you for editing into the podcast. But yeah, we did work in a Kurt Price photo in there. So congratulations, you're in the running, sir.
No audio, huh? For me though, none of me scoring a goal.
I think that exists.
I think the only audio of me playing hockey is from a video. Me coming on right wing, wind up for a slap shot, far post. And that's this. You hear clang. That's the only audio you have of me playing hockey ever.
We'll take it. That's good enough. So yeah, for those of you wanting a little bit more information, we are doing this summer a St. Louis Blues all-time team. It's going to include basically all the players from the past since 1967. As I said in the video there, they did one of these in 2002. We're going to build on that because a lot has happened since then. So I'm going to have a panel of people that are going to help me pick basically 8 positions at each forward position, 6 at each defensive position, 2 more goaltenders, and 2 more coaches than what was on that 35th anniversary team. And then we're going to try and figure out basically the rankings of those players, and then we're going to have you pick the team. So 3 forward positions of each, 6 defensemen, 2 goalies, and a coach. So we'll be on the lookout for that. It'll start right when the season ends, which for the Blues will be very soon. Can't end soon enough, if you ask me. And this is going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to having some polls here, and we're going to have some prizes to people who vote and kind of voice their opinion. We're going to show your stuff on the air. So make sure you tune in starting this April for the Let's Go Blues Radio St. Louis Blues all-time team.
So this is a little bit different a lot different, actually, than the fantasy draft that we had for the three of us, 3 years ago, something like that?
Yep.
Which was fun. Where we picked, we drafted. We had stipulations, though. We had requirements. You had a certain amount of games played that they had to have before they were eligible to be drafted. So this is a little different.
Yep. Yeah. A lot different. And like I said, you've got the 35th anniversary team that's already been picked. We're adding to that. So it's going to be fun to see where, like, right now at let's say right wing, it's Brett Hall, Joe Mullen, Scott Young, and Wayne Babbage. So it'll be interesting to see, does Tarasenko climb in there? Does David Perron, do we include him as a right wing? Is he in there? Like, it'll be interesting to see how these guys rank. And the panel is going to be made up of fans. So some of you might get asked, some of you listeners, us, and then other podcasters and media members. So it's going to be a good mix of people that are going to decide who at least deserves a shot at making the team.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of players would make up, say, the fourth line. Would you go with like the best fourth liners of all time, or because of the rich talent that comprises the group of forwards that have played for this franchise, are you going to have a guy like Tarasenko on the fourth line, or Perron on the fourth line? Would you go with a grinder like a Craig Conroy, like one of the better checkers we've had? Rick Mahar, right? Would be the third, fourth line.
You got to figure a lot of this is fan participation. So if I put him in the video, if Ryan Reeves is somebody that the panel feels deserves to be on this list, maybe he gets voted in. Who knows?
I would imagine if fan voting, I don't see how Ryan Reeves would not make that team. If the mindset is okay, we're going to put together a fourth line made up of fourth line type players, right?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see which way they go. Yeah.
So this will run all summer. As I said, it's fun too because I've got some good ideas planned for giveaways. So basically, I'll be running polls on Twitter, and people will be able to respond in the poll and say, I feel this player deserves it because of XYZ. And if it's a response that I like, I'm going to show it on the air, and that person's in the running for a really cool giveaway. So looking forward to doing this. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot more interaction with the fans in this summer series than we've ever had.
Cool.
Yep.
Very cool. The official beers of episode number 403. You can follow each of us on the Untapped app. My handle is CPrice12. Jeff's is JPonder94. Bill's is Billy Blue Note 33. So I declined to go first because the team has sucked when I've gone first. So was it Jeff? You're going first, right?
Yeah, I think we've seen all three just go at the same time. Maybe that'll work.
Ready?
Go.
1, 2. Are we doing 1, 2, 3? Are we on 3?
Doing it. Mine is Yingling Lager. And I said on Twitter, I thought this was the first time that we've ever had it. But I remember I joined you guys, unfortunately, for the episode that Bob Plager passed away, and I was drinking a Yingling that time. So this is not the first time we've had Yingling on the show.
I think I've mentioned that Yingling, to me, Yingling's, it's okay. I'm not crazy about Yingling, but
I don't understand it.
I don't either. I don't like it as much as like straight Budweiser, but I am very intrigued by their Hershey's Porter, their chocolate porter. I wanted to try that very much. Heard good things about it, so I think I'd like that based on what I like. So, but I'll go second.
Why not?
You do that.
Yeah. The O'Fallon Brewery's chocolate naughty beer, which is a chocolate pretzel beer. I had one left out of the 6-pack that I had, which is quite good. I said before that I don't think it's as good as their regular naughty, the regular pretzel beer, but this is a close runner-up for them. Bill, what you got, sir?
I have a tasty little
nope.
beer.
There
There it is. Churro Grande from.
I believe it's grande.
Oh, sorry. Churro Grande from
Churro grande.
Boulevard.
Taco Grande.
Yeah. It's a barrel-aged imperial brown ale with cinnamon and natural flavors. It's really good. For dessert kind of beer. Really, really dig this. I need to drive over to the other side of your state, Ponder, and partake of some Boulevard. Go to the brewery and do
That was
all
a
that
fun.
stuff.
We did that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I mentioned on the show. I think it was about 2 years ago. Actually, I think it was right before COVID hit. My wife and I went out there. We saw a Mavericks game, and we went to the Boulevard Brewery. Did the tour. It was awesome. We just hung out at the brewery all day, and just tried different beer. They got a bunch of stuff, obviously, on tap that you can't find anywhere else. And it was just a lot of fun. I really do recommend going out to Boulevard if you get a chance.
Yeah, we did KC Lake State and Power and Light a couple years back. Had a blast. Didn't go to Boulevard. It was the first time I ever went to a Flying Saucer, and that was pretty damn cool. But one of my favorite coffee labels now has a place at Power and Light, so totally want to get out there, do Boulevard, hit PT's coffee. It'll be a good trip. Maybe that's when I'll get to see St. Louis City SC against the Wiz. Oh wait, sorry, Sporting KC. Sporting KC. I forgot they changed their name.
It'd be a lot cheaper. To see him play over there. You can drive to Chicago and see him play for like $15.
Yeah. And Chicago has a former Liverpool player, Xherdan Shaqiri. So
Shakira plays for Chicago Fire?
He does. She does.
Oh.
Isn't Chicago
Those hips don't quit, baby.
They're supposed to be kind of bad this year, based on the preseason predictions that I saw.
Yeah. Did you see the ESPN power rankings on?
Yes.
And they had City at 26
because there were gift goals.
Yeah, both games involved gift goals.
But here's the thing, and not to make this a soccer show, but just real quick.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, anybody.
What else are we going to talk about?
and this ties into our philosophy with the Blues. Did they not watch the games? Because if you watch the games, the St. Louis City, they created those. They created their own luck, right? They play that press aggressive style to force mistakes by the other team. So St. Louis City forced a lot of this stuff. And if you look at expected goals for, we won the game there anyway. So, I mean, and if not for a few great saves, fantastic saves against St. Louis City, they had a few more goals. So, I mean, it kind of evened out. A couple of really great saves against them, and then the own goal header, and then the pass back on the giveaway. To me, the two giveaway goals, the pass back to the the lurking forward striker was just bad.
I'll say, man, my boss is British, so clearly he knows everything about soccer. He can do a soccer show, I'm sure. He even said that. He's an Austin guy. He lives in Austin, big Austin FC fan. And he said that those goals they scored, the last two, were because they had a relentless forecheck, as we called it. He tries to relate it in hockey terms. Yeah. and he said they press, and it's hard to get out of that when it's a good press. And I sent him the highlights of the last game against Charlotte, and he said it. He's like, yeah, it's exactly what I'm saying. That team they don't let up. They just keep pushing.
And that game against Charlotte, holy fuck. That first half of that game, that was amazing. Oh, what, 400 yellow cards?
Oh my god.
Ridiculous.
Oh my god. That was so much fun. It was like a hockey game out there on the pitch.
Yeah. It was a physical affair, and City Park got its first villain with Enzo Capetti for
I think I texted you. He's an easy guy to hate. Oh, easy guy.
Oh, easy.
Yep. Oh
yeah.
Dive in and fly. He scored a fantastic goal though.
He did.
That header was amazing. But yeah, he's flopping and diving and arguing every and just whining on the. Oh, it's just terrible. He's an easy guy to hate. And then plus he scores against you, so you hate him even more. And the crowd starts booing him every time he touches the ball. He gets booed. It was great. That was fun. Amazing. But isn't now I didn't watch. I'd occasionally watch an MLS game. Over the years, didn't really get into it. If it was on, I watch it for a little while. But I mean, isn't the more aggressive soccer style? That's the more American style soccer, MLS style. But St. Louis City just plays it to they crank it to 11 when they're doing it. But that's much more American style soccer than it is European football, right? Because European football is more of a finesse game.
It depends. Liverpool's success over the last few years has very much come from a heavy pressing game, and so it's an easy transition for me to watch. I mean, talent's a little different most days, but yeah, it's that. I think it's probably the German coaches espouse that more. So
I don't think
it's cool.
I think the second goal in game 1 was shocking. I think that's winning unlimited in the chat. I think this being an expansion team and the first two, nothing much is expected of St. Louis City this season. Being an expansion team, I think they're picked dead last. But I don't think they could have gotten off to a much better start as an expansion club, not just because they won the 2 games, but the way they won them and how the games were played. It was just such an exciting. It's almost like the Battlehawks this season. Their first 2 games, amazing finishes. Holy cow! But the way to start this, the franchise's tenure here in St. Louis has been fantastic. It's exciting games. Even if you're not a soccer fan, you're watching this, you can't help but get excited about it.
Yeah, very emotional wins.
Yes. All right. Holy. What was that? I missed that.
Holy shit. Future Considerations is a blue yet again from Matt Harris. And then he adds, love that dude, Future Considerations. Moved around a lot, but brings a lot with him.
Change of scenery for Future Considerations. Yep. Let's see if it'll help him.
And we got Justin Scott. We're going to talk about Buchnevich here in a minute, but he says, I've always been a big Buchnevich fan, even when he was in New York. He is a pillar of consistency and has been our best player in these recent stretch of games. I agree 100%. He's been the one guy that's brought it every game since the O'Reilly trade. Maybe you could add in 1 or 2 more guys, but it's definitely very noticeably Pavel Buchnevich.
Did you hear some rumblings? Some people tried to say that Buchnevich was possibly going to be traded before the deadline. Did you hear anything about that? I heard some people talking about that, and I'm like, why in the world would the Blues do that? He has a friendly contract, and he's been arguably our best player, our best forward by far.
Listen, nobody's untouchable. I've said that forever.
Right,
back when Davidson used to say TJ Oshie was untouchable. Shut up. No, he's not.
He should have.
But
been.
like, Oshie?
No. What I mean is we shouldn't have traded him for Brouwer. But anyway, go ahead.
I will stand by that trade. I still like it. But we don't need to get into that. That's old.
Brouwer scored a kind of important goal in Blues.
Yeah, but you know what? If Oshie's on the team, maybe we don't need that goal.
If Oshie's on the team, he doesn't do anything in the playoffs.
His numbers were better than Brouwer's in the playoffs coming in. We went over this on the show at the time. Remember this?
I know, but Brouwer scored a big goal.
He did. He had 1 goal in that series. It was a big goal. It was a fantastic goal. One of the biggest in Blues history. I'll give him that. But
plus one of the greatest quotes after the game. If I don't score that goal, I'm retiring.
Well, he almost didn't. He missed the first whack at it.
But no, no one's untouchable. I'm sure if somebody called about Buchnevich, okay, what's your best offer? It's not, I want to trade Buchnevich. It's, if I get a really fucking ridiculous offer, I'll take it. But nobody's going to blow Armstrong out of the water on that deal.
Right. And that's why he's not getting traded, is because it would take a lot, because we don't have to move him. He's making less than he deserves. And we've got him locked in for a little bit, and he's been great. I don't know why anybody. I mean, like you said, Jeff, nobody's untouchable. You get the doors blown off on an offer. Yeah, you take it, but no one's going to do that. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna trade me Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl for Buchnevich, and you're gonna retain all their salaries?
Sure.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can have him for that. I'm not gonna. I've said before. I think we all agree. We'll trade anybody, trade anybody as long as the team's better now and in the future because of the trade. Trade anybody. I don't care.
Kurt would trade either Bill or I if he could get Bucci on the show.
Okay. What? Oh, yeah, Leah Extol, right? I used to love Buchnevich, not Buchegras. But man, with him broadcasting games in NHL, I'm kind of soured on.
I still love his personality.
I do too.
I agree.
Well,
I don't like him calling games.
You know what though? His personality, he's getting old. His personality fits like a late 20s, early 30s kind of guy, right? What is he now? Like 50s?
Yeah, but he still has fun. I like guys that still have fun in the broadcast booth.
I get it, but I don't know. I don't know. Let's move on.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? Let's replace him with Stephen A. Smith talking about hockey.
Oh God, we should talk about that clip. That we should have had that ready to go. For those who don't know, the ESPN. What's the name of that show? The Stephen A. Smith and two other
cares?
People. Yeah,
actually, that might be what it's called. Who fucking cares with Stephen A. Smith?
It was. They were
brought
talking
to you
about
by Carl Lindbaum's Carl Lip Balm.
Carl Lindbaum's Carl Lip Balm. Oh, that's. I mean, that is one of our better ideas. I think.
We gotta make a graphic or something.
Put that in the t-shirt shop, and I'm buying it.
If we only had Carl Lindbaum on the team.
You know what? We are going to talk about the Stephen A. Smith clip later because Austin is going to work on something for us.
Oh, is he? Okay. Well, good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's basically a little precursor for that. ESPN talking heads shun the NHL. So stay tuned.
Shocker.
Yeah, shocker. It pissed off a lot of NHL fans. And ESPN has the NHL. They have the contract.
They're shitting on their own product.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
And you know,
and the thing that bothers me too is that, I'm sorry, if I'm Gary Bettman, I know he's got people to please, but I am like, okay, like publicly, this is not okay. I'm not happy with this. Like, but that's never going to happen.
Well, it's not a news show. It's an opinion roundtable show. So you're never gonna censor that, but
right. But when you
hear what they're saying, it's stupidity. You know, it's just ignorance about they don't know hockey, so they toss it aside and they criticize it because of their own ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
All right.
And it's
we need to move on because we're gonna work on this later.
But hockey fans love to, play the victim. These like what's his name when he criticized the NHL, the guy from used to do Pardon the Interruption, the boxing guy, boxing broadcaster,
Max Kellerman.
Yeah, he shit on the NHL. NHL and hockey fans lit into him. Yeah. So hockey fans are sensitive. Don't shit on our sport. If you don't like it, fine, but don't publicly just because you're ignorant on the workings of the hockeys. Okay. The Blues did play on Tuesday night, losing 6-2. They scored first.
They played a fine offensive game.
You know what they did? Well, yeah, they did. They generated a lot. Losing 6-2 to the Coyotes. Buchnevich did have both of the goals for the Blues, his 19th and 20th of the season. And got the first goal of the game at just 2:12 into the first period. So with 2:12 in, you're thinking, hey, all right, we're up 1-0. And Vejmelka, the goaltender for Arizona, was fantastic. Stopped 40 of 42 in this game. 42 shots on goal was a season high for the Blues.
How do you say his name, Kurt?
Vejmelka.
Vejmelka.
Yeah, I was right. Close enough.
Oh, did you? I didn't hear you say it. I thought you just avoided saying it.
No.
altogether.
I did say it. Roll the tape back. You can hear it on the. Yeah, you hear it
All right,
later.
I trust
did
you.
say it.
I would have called him out. I
was saying, I'm like, why am I the one calling him out?
The Arizona
Bill, but I
netminder.
clearly just didn't hear it.
You know, I don't know how to pronounce a name, or if you know what's funny is that just like looking at a name, I can pronounce it. But when you go through this outline that we have put together every week, and there's 25 different hockey names on there, and half of them are goofy. It's for some reason your mind gets scrambled and you forget how to say a name. It's so weird. It's so odd.
And that is why we often get not going to work here anymore.
You're right. It's Steve Bushnevich.
That's how the word internship has turned into me. I used to say that word fine, but now I can't say it. I cannot say it correctly. I can say intern and I can say internship. I can't say it right.
I feel like I owe an apology to Ken Wilson in the whole Jochen Heck days when every game was a different pronunciation of his last name.
Now that you're a podcaster, you kind of get it.
When you have to you got, and he's got a whole, he's got 2 rosters in front of him. So anyway, Blues did have a ton of odd man rushes in this game. Was there a number? Like we had 7 or 8 odd man rushes, something like that in this game.
It was terrible. I mean, the 2-on-0 with Robert Thomas and Kyrou, and just a beautiful fucking save. And I saw people giving Thomas crap saying that was telegraphed. Yeah, it was by Velmelka, but he read it well. That's not on Thomas. That's on Velmelka making a great freaking play.
I almost wonder if Thomas's shot was going to go wide too. It's hard to tell from the angle they showed. I don't know. When the one angle they showed wasn't like directly from behind Thomas, so it was hard to tell. But it looked like it might have been like just on the outside of the post. I'm not sure. Anyway, it was great save.
Either way, still, I mean, okay, let's say it's still going wide. He still covers the rebound.
Oh, sure.
That hits the side of the net, that hits the backboards. Maybe it pops back out. He covers the rebound and just made a miraculous save.
He read the play well. He was over there in plenty of time, and he made a nice glove save. It was credit where credit's due. That was a fantastic save.
I heard him say in the post game that he was watching Bill Day tape and he got inspired.
Flashing the stinky leather.
Yeah, no. If you watched Bill Day tape, he would have played the pass on Robert Thomas. I thought
giving Kyrou everything.
Yeah, I thought for sure that was going back across.
I did too. I really did. But good on Thomas.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
It's actually 10:01.
Yeah, he's right over there somewhere.
0 for 6 on the power play. The Blues were. So they did not convert. Did they convert on an odd man rush? Bushnevich's wasn't a. He was in, but that wasn't a rush.
Which the back angle?
Yeah. I mean, he was in, but that's not an odd man rush. No. So
there were equally as many Coyotes in the picture than Blues players.
Yeah, and so they didn't convert on the odd man rushes. They didn't convert on any of the power plays. 0 for 6. Even though some of the power plays, especially early on, I thought looked really good, moving the puck well, getting some chances. Didn't convert. A couple of them late looked like ass. Tons of chances, just couldn't convert. Keller and Schmaltz for Arizona continue to kill the Blues. Keller had a goal and 2 assists. I do believe Keller is averaging a point a game against the Blues in his career, 24 points or 27 points in 24 games, something like that. And Schmaltz had a goal and assist.
Keller and Schmaltz are basically the new, Damphus and Nolan for the early 2000s people.
Wow.
Calgary, was it Iginla and who was his center that used to rack up points against the Blues? I mean, that's the new version of that.
And that's always been the case. And they killed us in that 7-game series that wasn't a series, that Berube didn't want to call a series. 7 straight games against the Coyotes, which was the goofiest thing. There could be a documentary just on how that whole thing developed. How we played the Coyotes for 7 straight, which will never, ever happen again during the regular season, I don't think.
The NHL has fumbled many things like that. So
Darren Grice says the team is worse off than I originally thought, and I put in the show notes that that's kind of my thinking too. right now they're much worse than I thought they were going to be down the stretch. Even though, yeah, they've traded away O'Reilly and Tarasenko and Mikkel and Barbashev. You lose a lot of talent, you're going to suffer. And they're trying some stuff now with certain players, I guess. And they've acquired some players to give them a little tryout for next season. So, they know these games don't mean anything except trying to fix some things, but they're not. I mean, the defense is still playing like crap.
You expect still, and that's my problem with all this. Like, tank for Bedard. This team, as far as we know, this is the team coming back next year. And to see them playing this way, this poorly, is the problem. Again, I think the offense was fine the other night. I think Vejmelka's, for whatever reason, he's got the Blues number. But man, again, and I know this is what we've harped on for years now, this defense is so fucking bad. I mean, all these guys, right? They've all signed no trade clauses. So they're just like, they've got to at least be like, guys, we're in this for the long haul. Like, we want to still get great minutes and still like be able to sign another contract after this one. We still got to play well. There's none of that right now. And it's not even, I don't think it's an effort thing. I think they're just that fucking bad.
Yeah. When you watch the team play, I agree with you. I don't think it's an effort thing either. The team is out there. It looks like they're trying hard. But for whatever reason, and this has been the case for a while, in our own zone, it's just not clicking. It's easy to analyze it and say we're missing a number one defenseman. It's crystal clear. We do not have a number one defenseman, a number one type defenseman on this team. So, and if you had a number one defenseman, everybody else slots down, right? So the matchups are a little bit better. But number one defensemen don't grow on trees, so you just can't go out and get one, unless you're the Knights and there's Petro. Not getting re-signed by the Blues.
Did you guys see the Athletic article? It was what most disappointing things in the NHL this year, and it was Colton Parayko for the Blues. And but they didn't just leave it at Parayko. They broke down the entire defense. Right, Nick Leddy can't lead a transition.
Which was his strength.
Right,
which was one of his strengths.
He can still skate, but he can't lead a transition to save his life. Torrey Krug is nothing more than a power play specialist at this point in his career. All of these guys, and Justin Falk, I thought Justin Falk had a great start to the season, and he got overtaxed and regressed to the norm, and probably even further down. And the article did a pretty good job getting into just the problem with the Blues. I mean, it was just a short piece, but I thought it did a good job of summing up what we've been saying on this show forever. No trade clauses with mediocre defensemen, and we're stuck with it.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's going to be an interesting offseason because we do have the 3 first-round draft picks. And a lot of people are thinking we're not going to use all 3 to draft. We'll either use them in a trade to acquire someone we need. We'll use them to move up, package a couple to move up to a higher spot, or all 3. Although the way they're going, our pick's going to be a top 5-6 pick. So, I mean, how much more you want to move up?
I mean, and that's the thing. If the Blues have a number, let's just say they get lucky and get the number 3 pick, do you still package maybe all 3 and send it to the number 1 team and say,
they won't trade?
You want these 3? Yeah. We'll get number 1. You want them?
Whoever winds up with Bedard with the number 1 pick, they are not going to do it. You might be able to package up for Fantilli, but you're not going to be able to package up for Bedard.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's like I think back to when Malcolm was drafted. Trying to acquire that pick to get him because after seeing tape of him and overseas, I was like, golly, this guy can play. And when McDavid was drafted, you'd always hear teams talk about, hey, we're going to trade up. Would they trade away the first pick? And we're like, no, why would you? A generational talent,
Mhm.
one of the greatest players. I mean, projected to be maybe one of the best players ever. And he's turning into that a lot of people are saying he's the best player ever right now. So, but it's just got to play out
Okay.
for the numbers.
Winning unlimited, making me show how dumb I am here. He's right. Blues cannot get pick 3, only picks 1 and 2 awarded in lottery. So yeah, he's right. Blues, unless they literally lose out and end up, which isn't going to happen.
I think realistically, they're probably, if they keep playing the way they're playing, they'll probably position wise be set to draft at 5 or 6.
Yep.
I think so.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
that makes the most sense.
Right now they're 9th, but there's a few teams right there, not too far. So if they keep playing this poorly, granted, everyone else down there is playing poorly too, but yeah, the Blues can't seem to beat anybody right now.
No.
So,
and you brought up Torrey Krug. A couple weeks ago, I officially put out it's time to take Colton Parayko out to pasture. Take him out back, old Yeller style. I'm getting there with Torrey Krug. Holy shit, he is worthless on the ice. I mean, Parayko at least has reach and can every now and then break up a pass or even like get a stick on somebody. My God, Torrey Krug is worthless. He doesn't do anything.
I'm wondering if I think this defense, as bad as it was to start the season, has gotten worse.
Yes.
And I want to say possibly, based on a player's mentality, playing for a winner versus playing for a loser. Yeah, you can be out there trying hard, but you're not going to have that next level of effort, that next level of passion and intensity that you'd have if you're a good team fighting for a good playoff spot, in big games down the stretch. There's just a different mentality the players have. I'm not saying that's the case here with Krug. I'm saying it's possible that a lot of the players just don't have that passion right now because they're just not very good, and they know they're not good. And the ownership has given up on this season by trading away players, and so they're just going through the motions to finish the season out. You can be out there trying hard, but you're not going to have that passion to that inner that drives you, that from the adrenaline of playing in a meaningful game. It's hard to describe as an athlete what that is, but when you're out there in a big game, it's different. It's like that intensity is crazy. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, but
when you're playing in meaningless games.
At the same time, your teammates need to see effort from you. And I'm not seeing it from Krug. I agree with you, but what I'm saying is,
I think the effort's there. The passion's not.
Yeah, but you need that passion.
I agree.
And I think that, you look at a guy, let's just say Jordan Binnington, being left to hang out to dry with terrible, terrible defensive plays.
Yep.
At what point does Jordan Binnington say, you got to get Torrey Krug off this fucking team? He's awful. And you don't want to have that kind of a riff in the locker room because a guy's just not playing with any passion or fire.
Trade him right fucking now.
I'm going to go ahead and post that up there for everybody to see, since Ken Morris and I are on the same page. I think Kurt is onto something with his comments, and I believe they are very valid. I'm going to get a t-shirt with that on it. Have Jeff wear it.
I would wear it. I'd wear it every day.
And on the flip side,
they'd be like, what the fuck? Who's Kurt?
Right. On the flip side of that shirt, you've got to have, I'm with you fellers.
Yeah, I'm with you fellers.
I'm with you fellers. Yeah.
Friend, I believe your folding money's come unstowed. I love that movie. I want to watch
Top five.
I may watch it after the show as I go to bed. Put it on. Top 5, yeah. I think so. For sure. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou, for those wondering. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Or watch it. Rent it.
That is,
Stream
for
it.
anybody who's like me and is an English major or was an English major, that's a excellent, excellent movie. Mm-hmm. A lot of great moments in that will remind you of certain books.
And the look and feel of the movie is just cool. They have to put filters on it and stuff. No Rosen in the lineup on Tuesday, That bothers me. I don't know if it bothers you guys. It bothers me. They talked about getting Tucker playing time to see what he can do. That's why he's in there, looking to see if he's going to be on the team next season. And I'm thinking, why is Rosen the odd man out to let Tucker play? Because any stats you look at is going to have Rosen as being one of our best, if not our best defenseman overall, solid this season. Why isn't a guy like I mean, I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Why isn't Parayko or Krug or Scandella sitting so Tucker can play when they've actually struggled this season, and Rosen has been statistically our best defenseman, and he gets benched? Why?
Yep. At this point, I'm like, just say we're going to let some of these guys rest. Every game, Parayko's going to sit this one. Falk's going to sit this one. Letty's going to sit the next one. And then that way, every game, you're still getting Rosen in the lineup. That's what I think they should do. But I feel like they do that, or at least in maybe in Armstrong's eyes, maybe in other GM's eyes. Oh, he's sitting his players now. That shows how bad they are. That's the only reason. But for me, I think if you cycle them out and just say it's end of season, let these guys get some more rest, I don't think that hurts their trade value at all.
I think Rosen is in the same boat that Tucker is for playing to prove his worth. Apparently he has to, and he's not getting the. When's the last time Rosen played? It's been a number of games. I haven't seen him in a while. I can't remember, but he should be. I mean, if they don't like Rosen as much as I do, why aren't they giving him a look like Tucker? Play him and Tucker, and sit, Krug and Letty. I don't know. I that would make more sense to me, because Rosen needs to apparently prove his worth now too. So I'd love for some of the folks in the locker room who are asking questions in the press conferences after the game say, what's up with Rosen?
Yeah, I think it's you cycle out your top 5 every game, no matter if they win or lose. You cycle out each one. Each player is going to get every 5th game off. That way you can still play Tucker and Rosen every game. But for some reason, I think Doug fears that might hurt their trade value, I guess. But
for some reason, people, I mean, I'm not anti-Tucker by any means, but there's Bill saw the guy walking around with the Tucker jersey, and there was the social media commentary about, blow up the entire defense, trade everyone except for Tucker. I'm like, what is the love affair with Tucker? I mean, I like seeing Tucker. I want to see young guys, and that's my point with Rosen. I want to see the young guys play right now. Yeah,
let's see them get some games in. So I'm fine with Tucker playing. I think he had a bad game against Arizona. I think he has not played well lately, but I'm fine with him saying, "Hey, kid, no matter how you play, you're in the rest of the season." But it should be the same mentality with Rosen.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. At this point, it feels like him being left out is just, they're going to continue playing the rotation of the top 4, and I guess if you include Bortuzzo had to have been in. I'll be honest here, I haven't really paid that close attention. I've had the games on, but I'm kind of dialed out. But it feels like they are, they're making it a competition at this point in the season for who's going to be in for the 7th person or for the 6th spot. Fuck that. At this point, just roll everybody. I love that idea, right? Every 5th game you're out.
Do you know what bothers me about this, and concerns me about this, is that recently this franchise has made some bad decisions defensively. They traded Wallman away, who is thriving in Detroit.
Right. Just signed a nice extension.
Yes. Playing very well in Detroit. I liked Wallman when he was here. I always said that. I wanted to get more of a look here, wanted to get more playing time. He didn't, and they traded him. Dunn is playing well in Seattle, even though he's still kind of the same guy. Advanced Stats love him. They loved him here. but he's still not great defensively from what I remember when I've seen the season. But whatever. They love him there. He's thriving there.
Fit in perfectly on this team.
Yeah. So, letting players go and not giving them a proper look here has been kind of the MO lately, and letting guys go and they thrive elsewhere. And now I'm kind of concerned about Rosen. They're doing the same thing with Rosen. So,
I mean, you want to go back a little further. Yanni Hakanpää literally never played a game here for the Blues and has been solid in the NHL since he came. Since Anaheim, now Dallas. He's somewhere else now, right?
Carolina.
Still in Dallas. Carolina. Yeah.
So
very good Carolina team. Yeah, that's another one.
It's just a series of unfortunate decisions on defense, a string of them. And we're letting guys go that we probably should keep that are more affordable. And we're retaining guys, too long contracts that aren't getting the job done as a whole. So, I mean, it's concerning to see them kind of play this out with Rosen now. I could be wrong on Rosen. Maybe he's just not going to cut it, and maybe I don't know. But I'm concerned that it's the same thing over and over again.
Divide by zero. I think this comment came in probably
before
after I actually said it, but now it's coming in before he hears it. Yeah, Yanni Hakanpää. Same from Divide by Zero. Yep. I mean, it's been going on the last couple of years.
All right. I think we're due for a break, so we'll kind of talk about however you want to pronounce his name, Jakub or Jakub Vrana. He says both are fine. It's actually Jakub, but both are fine. And Kapanen has played a few games now, so we'll talk about them a little bit on the other side of this break from our amazing sponsors. You're listening to Kurt, Jeff, and Bill on Let's Go Blues Radio.
We'll return after these messages.
Every beer league hockey night, I grab my hockey bag and sticks and throw them in the trunk of my car. And the very next thing I do, I mix up a boost of energy courtesy of RockinThatIDLife.com. It's formulated to break up its delivery in 3 ways, which helps me get through all 3 periods of hockey. Phase 1 provides a rapid onset of energy, concentration, alertness, and motivation. By period 2, I'm receiving a dose of sustained energy, increased focus, metabolism, cognitive function, performance, and feelings of well-being, which I need with the way I play. In Phase 3, I'm getting fatigue protection without jitters and crash, an elevated mood, and a reduction of fluid retention to help me make the big play when it counts. This same triphasic approach helps me when I drink it during work hours or simply just for a pick-me-up when I need it. Try one of the 4 energy flavors by visiting RockinThatIDLife.com, but make sure to email Dustin at RockinThatIDLife@gmail.com and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you to receive an additional 10% off your order. That's RockinThatIDLife.com.
Center Ice Brewery is a beer lover's dream for hockey fans. Based in St. Louis, Missouri, owner Steve Albers has been brewing hockey-themed favorites for thirsty sports fans since 2017. From the Beauty IPA to the Old Arena Lager, a cold, frosty, hockey-themed beer is just what the doctor ordered for hockey fans in St. Louis. Make sure to check your local beer store for Center Ice Brewery beer today. LGB. Let's go beer.
During the magical 2019 playoff run, I was in the midst of buying my current home. Every time I spoke with my realtor, obviously, home buying was the discussion. But in the back of my mind, I couldn't stop thinking about what was destined to happen for our St. Louis hockey team. If only there were a realtor who could have walked me through the process, held my hand when needed, but was there to be a sounding board when I wanted to complain about a certain hand pass goal. Let realtor Mike Burgoyne with Real Brokerage be that for you. He'll have your needs top of mind as he skates you through the home buying or selling process, dangling you past any obstacles and assisting on all your home goals. Check out strikewithmike.com for more information or give him a call directly at 314-753-4060. That's Mike Burgoyne with Real Brokerage at strikewithmike.com, and that number again is 314-753-4060. Don't forget to tell Mike that Let's Go Blues Radio sent you.
And now, back to Let's Go Blues Radio, the longest running St. Louis Blues podcast with Price, Ponder, and Day.
So is it Matt Harris is pouring up into the tab? I guess is what he's talking about. He's referring to. He goes, "What's up with the music playing in the center ice ad? I thought the video in the other tab had started playing."
And then Chris Burks adds, "The voice from the ad was kind of sexual as well." LOL.
Sex sells beer.
It is very sexual. I mean, man,
Congrats to you, sir.
Yes, I can't say anything else without getting in trouble.
Yep.
My God.
I guess it went over well for the men watching this show.
Wow. Can we just play it again?
I don't have it up singly. That's all part of the group.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess I could listen to my voice again.
It's on YouTube. You can play it later if you want.
Oh, I will play it all.
All right. Jakub Vrana played his first game for the Blues against the Coyotes on Tuesday. He was supposed to debut Saturday against the Kings, but a snowstorm, an overnight airport stay, and lost luggage helped delay Vrana's debut with the Blues. He only played 6 games in total so far this season with the Blues, though. 16:32 on the ice. He averaged 12:05 time on the ice with Detroit in the other games this season. He had 6 shots in the game, 8 attempts, so 2 were blocked. So 0 shots wide. 100% of unblocked shots were on net, which I think is a stat that I don't know if anybody was talking about that. With as much trouble and frustration as we have with some of the players in this team shooting wide, it'd be a nice, refreshing thing to see a player shoot and the puck actually hit the net when he shoots it, which was the case. He had for Vrana in the game Tuesday night. Offensive shifts.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. I mean, he had that great. I mean, that quick breakaway he had
down left wing, blew by.
I mean, that is thing of beauty. I mean, it's not only just speed; it's just skating ability.
Another thing this team has missed
strides he was taking.
Not enough team speed. I think if we could get some of that speed on defense, it'd be nice too.
Well, and, he had that great the pass across that. Who was the defenseman that tied up a stick? Was it? It
was tied up the stick on was it Shen?
No, it was on Vrana. Was it Keller?
Keller tied up Vrana?
When Vrana had the chance in front.
That's right. That's right.
Perfect pass across. I think it might have been from Shen, maybe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, and he was right where he needed to be. Pass was on the tape. That stick doesn't get tied up. He scores a goal there. Just multiple chances. He had a chance, I think, on the power play. He looked great. Very good. And I'm very happy. One game, small sample, but hey, look great.
In one game, if this is what he's going to bring, that's good. I like him. Obviously, it's going to be up and down maybe a little bit, but I'm like it. I like so far.
I thought with Kapanen, when he first stepped in, it was like, okay, this kid's got something to prove. I felt that tenfold with Vrana last night. I thought, man, this kid is stepping in saying, I got to prove that I am worth being in the NHL.
Yeah, and having him on a line, Kapanen and Vrana on the same line with Shen, that like Kelly and Pang called it out last night, and easy to agree with them on this one. It's a proper NHL line, right? They looked like they could play in any situation in any game. That we'll see how it goes. Vrana's first game in, he's definitely going to bring his utmost energy. So let's see if he can continue to do that. But yeah, I was totally impressed with him last night.
Had six offensive zone shifts, 2 defensive zone shifts, and then on the fly shift starts were 9. So obviously he's going to be out there if he can for offensive draws. Not so much defensive draws, and then 9 more. So 17 shifts in the game, give or take.
I remember in the 18 Stanley Cup final, them talking about how the Capitals had 3 very strong right wings in Ovechkin, Oshie, and Vrana. So clearly, I mean, again, pick number 11 in the draft, and was that 2014, whatever year that was.
Isn't that the same number
clearly,
Brown was taken? Wasn't Brown 11th in that draft?
let's not talk about that. No, let's not
Hopefully,
compare those.
He's got a better NHL resume than Brown does.
Yeah.
Already. So.
Yeah, but look, we've got to, we've moved on from our organic top 15 picks in Tarasenko and Schwartz, and we've replaced them with higher picks. That's sound logic.
I believe that's a win-win-win right there.
Kasperi Kapanen, first game was with St. Louis on March 2nd. So he's played 4 games with the Blues now. He has 2 goals, no assists. He's a -1, 10 shots on goal, 17:31 average ice time. So they're giving him a look too, giving him lots of ice time, 17:31.
Got the shorty against Korpisalo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, I've liked him too. So and they're not blowing the doors off. But I think they're good depth players. They can be good depth players if they play to the best of their abilities with this team. So
right. You have them on your second or third line next year. That's not terrible, right?
Yeah.
We don't expect this team to contend for a cup next year, but having guys like that have the offensive ability and have the potential to to pot 20 goals. I could see these guys being 20 goal guys. Not like Mike Hoffman. They're not going to be 40 goal guys, but I can totally see them, as 20 goal contributors on a solid team. It's exciting. And then depending on, how quickly the rebuild works, maybe having them on a third line in a couple of years, even better.
Yeah. And I'll add just the skill that they bring in a bottom 6. When we saw that with the Blues really in 2019, but clearly since then too, seeing that type of skill that can come out in a bottom 6 player. You'd be able to maybe free agency, you pick up another winger somehow, or maybe a trade over the summer, and Vrana or Kapanen are definitely sitting on your third line. Again, like Bill said, these guys potentially, I mean, they were picked to even score more than that, at how high they were picked. But potentially, these guys could be 20 goal guys on the right line. And that's why I love these reclamation projects that Doug has brought in on this trade deadline time. Sammy Blaze, another one where it's like, hey, let's bring them in another uniform and see what they can do. And so far, they've impressed.
Matt Harris says, wait, you guys aren't looking to contend next season? Fuck it. We're cup contenders next season. Reckless optimism. I like it.
That would be nuts. That'd be fucking nuts. Hey,
just
you know what?
Just find Pedro Serrano and
Rube Baker,
Roger Dorn,
Dorn, and
Ricky Vaughn.
Yeah, and we've got a
Taylor.
chance.
Jake
Taylor.
Jake Taylor.
Yeah, and Willie Mays Hayes.
I say we give them all a big shit burger to eat.
What is shit
burger?
What does a rub off mean?
Well, how about that? Ken Morris says maybe Jeff can invite the Blues to the Ponder Cup. Well, that is in November usually, so that probably won't work out, but that'd be awesome.
All right, so you want to talk about Stephen A. Smith and his
Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and just play the clip. I got it, Austin. I'll take care of it.
You got it? Okay, cool.
Championship next.
Rangers. Oh, Lord. Come on, Patrick Kane is able.
They don't count. Take
They
them
don't
out.
count.
They don't count.
Only thing I know about hockey is that the puck is black.
Okay.
And I love Gary Bettman.
So they were talking about the next New York team to win a championship. They're and what's his face there predicts the Rangers, and then they're like, "Ow, that's hockey, right? They're just hockey."
He's the Yankees broadcaster. I'm trying to blank on his name.
And
But-
the show was Stephen A. Smith on First Take on ESPN.
First Take, that's right.
Yeah.
First Take is the worst take, if you ask me.
Michael Kay was the
Michael
Yankees
Kay.
play-by-play voice. Joined Stephen A. Smith to discuss Major League Baseball's new rules for the coming season.
Well,
during the segment, First Take host Molly Querum asked Kay to assess which New York team is closest to winning a championship. Kay responded by slamming his hand on the confidently stating the New York Rangers, and that's when they laughed at him basically.
Well, and then he tried to get into it and say like start the discussion, like, come on, Patty Kane. Like he was starting to get let him talk. And then they're just like, no, that doesn't
shut
count.
him down.
Well, they said no, we're talking MLB, NFL, and NBA. That's what they said. We're not talking NHL.
Yeah.
And because they can't, because none of these, well, Michael Kay apparently wanted to, but those other two yahoos, they have this show, and it's a sports show, a cornucopia sports show, I guess, and they can't talk hockey. Very few people can talk hockey on these shows where they cover everything. They're baseball guys, basketball guys, football guys. How many times is there a hockey guy on these shows? Never. There's never a hockey guy on these shows.
No.
And it's
and the thing that really perturbs me is this isn't just a hockey thing. I mean, because it is, but if he says, and forgive me, I'm sorry, I'm not a WNBA fan, but if he says the WNBA team, they're probably like, oh, okay, you're gonna accept that, a sport that is I'm sorry, does not get a lot of fanfare. They would have accepted that over an NHL team. They would have.
Querum said, she dissed the NHL, and she said hockey doesn't count. That's what she said. That's
Go to
what pissed
hell.
off some people. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing a sports show? Get out of here.
And how stupid is Stephen A. Smith? The only thing I know about hockey is the puck is black.
Well,
how many times has that joke been made? Like
exactly
a million?
And she said it with him, which says he's said that probably multiple times.
Oh,
and it's
the only thing I know about hockey is the puck is black and there's a bunch of white people with sticks trying to hit it. That's
the fuck out of
that's
here.
the black comedian making a joke about hockey, right? It's been said a billion
Only
times.
Stephen A. Smith is not funny or insightful or anything, and I don't understand why he is their lead commentator. I've never enjoyed him. He's a moron.
He's got dirt on somebody, but I think she got to her position by being his hype man. So I still can't consume ESPN, Sports Center, any of their shows. I used to try to watch Around the Horn to get some other sports takes. I can't do it. I haven't been able to do it for a long time, and I guess I feel the same way about ESPN as Stephen A. Smith apparently feels about hockey.
Well, and Gary Bettman's a close friend of mine. Shut the fuck up. If Gary Bettman is your friend and you say that about his business, this is what he does for a living. He's clearly not that close of a friend.
NHL executives, Michael Kay said that he heard the NHL was red hot. The NHL executives red hot over Stephen A. Smith's dismissive hockey comments on his show when ESPN has the NHL broadcasting rights for the TV contract. So they're promoting the NHL on their network kind of poorly, and this show is completely dissing it. So apparently NHL executives were pissed off.
Yeah, but you know what? That's all we're ever going to hear about it from NHL execs. They're never going to talk out about it, which is fucking stupid to me. Again, if I'm Gary Bettman or any owner, I'm going on every show and saying, this is the contract we signed. We're working with people who are telling people that our sport doesn't count. I am calling out ESPN and basically letting them know, hey, we're paying you guys, or you're paying us a lot of money to broadcast our sport, but you are pissing us off.
I don't even care if Stephen A. Smith likes or dislikes hockey. What annoys me and all the other hockey people out there is that they openly dissed hockey. It's one thing to not be a hockey fan. You could fake it on your show, but to openly diss it and not even want to discuss it and say it doesn't count when they should be focusing on helping the NHL grow, considering they have a large investment in the league. It makes zero sense. With the NHL execs being pissed off, I'm sure Stephen A. Smith heard about it and someone talked to him about it. He posted something as a clarification that he doesn't hate hockey. I'm like, whatever.
That's right. That's
whatever.
a contractual obligation post right there.
Yeah.
Can we remember? Do you guys remember the last time his name came up with hockey? Do you remember that?
Before the season started, right? When he was talking about Stephen A. Smith, you mean, right?
Yeah.
He was talking about comparing it to basketball. Is that what you're going to talk about?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember this.
Well,
Go
before
ahead.
the season, okay. Well, I'll say mine. You can say yours. Before the season started, after the ESPN announced they had the TV contract starting the season, Stephen A. Smith talked about why the Edmonton. He was like, he wanted to be a hockey guy all of a sudden and talk hockey because it was like I guess ESPN encouraged their shows to talk about hockey because they just got the contract. And he goes, I don't understand why the Edmonton Oilers don't have a Stanley Cup. They have the greatest player in the league. Michael Jordan was the greatest player in the NBA. He led the Bulls to a bunch of NBA titles. And I'm thinking that's the problem right there. One player or two players even is not going to win you a cup. The NHL is so much more a team game. It takes an entire team up and down the lineup, depth on that roster to win a Stanley Cup. In the NBA, you can win a cup with the greatest player in the league on your team, win a title. You could be or at least get to the final anyway. You don't need that depth like you do in the NHL.
That is what I was going to bring up.
Okay,
but this was that your timeline's a little off.
Right. That was when ESPN got the contract, which was a year ago.
They had just gotten the contract.
Gotcha.
And so this was like basically literally probably them saying, "Hey, Steven, and this was before ESPN even actually they signed the contract for the next season. This was right after the playoffs had ended. And he said that. And it was like, okay, tell me you don't understand hockey without telling me you don't understand hockey. Because that's what that was. It was, dude, I'm sorry. Yes. But in the series he was talking about, I want to say McDavid still had 8 points in the 5-game loss. He still played well, but you need, it's not a one-man show like the NBA or NFL.
Which I mean, honestly, I'm biased, but how is that not better? Why would you want a team in a sport just because they have the best player in the league? Why would you want them to automatically be the favorite to win? I mean, then it's like, where's the depth? Shouldn't it take a whole team? It's a team sport. Why wouldn't it take the whole team to win if you're so top heavy, you shouldn't necessarily be able to win a title if you're top heavy with your team. I don't know. That seems weird to me. But
so my work has asked me multiple times why I'm such a hockey fan. I take my meetings right here. So as you can see, people can tell that I'm a hockey fan. And I tell them the same thing every time. It has nothing to do with, playing, even though I do play. I love watching the team game. That is the best part about it, is that we see guys play, and it's always, and I love that commercial that came out last playoff, right? The one that was like, it's always we, it's never I, right? It's always about the team. It's never I did this, I did that. It's we need to do this, we need to do that, we did that. That is why I love hockey, and it's such a great team sport, and it bleeds into every professional thing you can do as a person. I always relate my life back to hockey. Surprise, surprise. And that's why I love it. It's the best team sport. It's camaraderie. It's working together. And that's the best part about hockey.
Yeah. And Matt Harris says also Jordan with the Bulls had Pippen, Robin, and the coach whose name I forget.
Jackson.
Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson.
And he goes, he had a cast of all-stars around him. He did, and that's why they won so many, right? But nowadays, it's not unheard of for a team with the best player to make it to the final, just because they're the best player.
Yep.
So, the Blues now have the 9th worst record in the NHL. They're 27-31-5, 59 points. They have a minus 43 goal differential. Is that good? With the way they're playing, they could very easily finish with the 5th or 6th worst record, which means they would have like an 8 or 9% chance of winning the lottery. Winning Unlimited's in the chat here, so he's gonna probably double check those facts and figures. I'm waiting for it.
Where, you know what? Let's ask this. He probably doesn't know, but I'm going to ask anyway. Where would they be at in the gold plan right now?
Ooh. Well, they currently have a 5.4% chance of winning the lottery, which does not mean, apparently this needs to be said, does not mean, if you win the lottery, that does not mean you get another first-round pick, which is first overall, in addition to your existing first-round pick. No, your existing first-round pick moves up if you win the lottery to the number 1 position. But some people thought that, oh, you win the lottery, you win another first-round pick, which is not the case. So 5.
Sorry,
5.
Winning Unlimited in the chat is cracking me up.
He cracks knuckles. Yeah, he's into it. He's doing some research. I looked it up before the show. It's about, give or take, 0.5%, something like that. It's like if the Blues finish 5th or 6th, it'd be like an 8 or 9% chance of winning the lottery. Right now they're 9th, and they have which means they're in the lottery. Top 11 teams get the lottery positioning, and right now they're 5.4% chance of winning. So
okay, before we move on,
yes,
earlier I said I would wear a shirt that had whatever the comment was about you earlier. You need to wear a shirt that says what Ken Morris just posted. Great points, Jeff. Well articulated.
If there's one thing Jeff can do, it's articulate.
Thank you. I'll take it. I'm also good at own goals, which apparently is a soccer stat, by the way.
Yeah, and Bill.
How brutal is that?
Bill could. I'm sure Bill knows all about that because he's a huge soccer fan. And I've always loved soccer, and I played soccer as a kid. I know the rules. I didn't know that about soccer, is that they keep track of own goals. So the St. Louis City didn't get credit for a goal. Technically, it counts for St. Louis City, but no one on the St. Louis City team gets credit for that goal. It's credited as an own goal to the guy it went off of.
Yeah, and that's what blows my mind is I'm like, okay, so the trivia question in 20 years of who scored St. Louis City's first goal, does it go to the guy in Charlotte, or is it?
I
would think so.
You
right?
You would think it would go to the guy who kicked it, right? He kicked it.
Yeah, the last
went
touch.
Off the defenseman and in the goal. Last touch by the St. Louis City player. Closest would make a lot of sense. Last touched, right? So,
my wife told me that the league she played in growing up, it was always last. It was actually closest to the ball when it went in. So basically closest to the goal.
Well, I think that's the way it is in hockey. If the defending team has full possession, and they pass a couple times and they pass it in their own net, then it's closest to the puck or the person who shot it in, one of the two. Because the team who gets the goal doesn't have possession, so there's no way to determine who touched it last, right? So it's closest.
All right, so I'm going to get Bill to wear this shirt from Matt Harris. If there's one thing I know about Jeff, the man's a master articulator, just articulating all day, every day, master class articulating. Thank you.
Okay, so now we need a shirt that says master articulator. Bill can be the master debater.
So what are you?
I don't know. I'm just right.
The master?
I'm just a right thinking kind of guy. To steal from Kevin Slayton. I'm a right thinking kind of guy. Masturbator. No, not masturbator. Master debater. Come on, Austin. We're trying to be clever.
If he was a fisherman, maybe we'd say masturbator, but you're not a fisherman.
That's true. And baiter would be Baiter. And I'm sure there's plenty of shirts out like that.
Go away, Baton.
Go away, Baton.
You like
haven't
sex and
seen
money too? We should be friends. We should hang out. Sorry.
I like
hang out.
money. I like money.
I told you we don't have time for a hand job.
If you haven't seen Idiocracy, folks, give it a look. Give it a watch. Super funny, and it's kind of how things are going, right?
Right. I was going to say I would make that recommendation and temper it with and compare and contrast to current realities.
Right. And it's kind of scary.
Listen, man, your shit's all fucked up. You just gotta, you gotta, That was the doctor, by the way.
Yeah.
He said a few more things that I cannot say on YouTube.
Right. Justin Long.
Yeah.
So the Blues have been worse down the stretch than I expected them to be. Will be in better draft position probably than I expected if they continue this pace of pretty poor play defensively, especially. Only 2 wins in the last 10 games. They can't seem to beat anybody. I mean, they beat San Jose, whoop-de-doo.
Right. Felt like San Jose stopped trying after the second, or after the first. Like, guys, you know what's at stake here?
They seem like they are still kind of in shock of the Meyer trade because that had just happened, and I've seen probably 2 parts of 2 games outside of the Blues game with them, and yeah, they've not looked good. So that's not surprising.
The Blues have traded forward Anthony Angelo to the Nashville Predators for future considerations. That's where the comments came earlier in the show. Angelo, 27, has spent the entirety of his season with the Springfield Thunderbirds of the American Hockey League. He has 6 goals and 5 assists this season. Angelo taken in the 5th round of the 2014 NHL entry draft by the Pittsburgh Penguins. While the NHL trade deadline was last Friday, teams remain permitted to make trades, but any player moved cannot appear in the playoffs for his new team. So you will see teams make some moves here and there for that reason.
So
to me,
question for Austin, maybe, I guess, if he can look this up. Does that also include the AHL? Is he not allowed? I would guess so, right?
He can. What did I say? Well,
so if the Predators make the playoffs, he cannot play for the Predators. But if he plays for
he can. Well, okay, so the Blues did sign Anton Malmstrom to a 2-year contract out of college. He's a free agent defenseman, and he is eligible and he's going to be assigned to the Thunderbirds, and he is eligible to play the remainder of the season.
But that's a college free agent. That's a different situation.
Okay, all right. Well, he's eligible to play for the AHL regular season and playoffs. So
Austin says no, he can't, which makes me ask the question. I don't know what his contract was. Why make this trade if you're Nashville? Maybe their team, their Milwaukee, is that their AHL affiliate? Maybe they just need to try and make the playoffs. I don't know what their situation is, but that just seems like a really weird trade to make right now.
Yeah,
they obviously had soured on future considerations.
Right,
clearly,
right. And to me, when I
it was a locker room,
I was like, right. Boom. It's Anthony Angelo, right? It's like
not D'Angelo
area.
D'Angelo? Yeah,
Anthony Angelo, his brother Peter Angelo is actually playing for the Vegas Golden Knights. So I don't know if anybody knew that.
No, that was his uncle Frank.
Of course, this man not only has chopped down a cherry tree. He is also spitting knowledge on Let's Go Blues Radio. George Washington, folks, steps in and says the AHL trade deadline is this week. So that tells me he can still play for the Predators affiliate.
There you go, Austin.
Well, I get what Austin was saying. If the AHL trade deadline has passed,
had already expected. Yeah, right.
I get what Austin was saying. Austin wasn't incorrect. Right. It was just
He was, but he
wasn't
aware of.
He was totally wrong.
He was wrong, but
Wait a minute. Why am I taking Austin's side?
Because
here?
he can
That
play in
never
the playoffs
happens.
because the trade deadline has not happened yet.
Oh, Austin just gave me the love sign. That's adorable.
Oh,
love you too, bro. Us Missouri guys got to stick together on Let's Go Blues Radio.
You know the cherry tree thing in George Washington wasn't true. Apparently,
no, it was.
No, I don't think so.
No, I know his niece. She told me.
Yeah,
niece.
not like his great niece. No, his niece.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about the oldest living sibling to a Civil War veteran is either still alive or just died? It's crazy how that worked.
It had to be like 115, 110.
It was not. I could not believe it, but someone's father. I don't know. It was like, are you kidding me? I would expect 3 or 4 generations. Oh no, someone's a sibling of someone who was alive in the Civil War era had just died, or is still alive. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have more details. It's just off the cuff stuff.
Yeah, I know there was that crazy thing with like the son or grandson of Martin Tyler, who was president in like the 1840s, was still alive.
Zachary Taylor.
Zachary Taylor. I don't know. I don't know.
Martin Tyler.
The whiskey's kicking in. The whiskey's kicking in. That's all.
I think that's you're taking of a that's Canadian. He's Canadian. Martin Tyler.
Right, you're right. Canucks draft pick. I don't know.
Zachary Taylor. I don't know much, but I know Zachary Taylor.
Zachary Taylor. You are correct.
He's not the one that ate the cherries and got sick and got the flu from giving the inaugural address out in the rain and got sick and died after being elected a few months. He died a few months in. Is that Martin Van Buren?
I believe that was Marjorie Taylor Greene.
We could
be so lucky.
We could be so lucky. Margarine Taylor Greene.
Margarine, yes.
Margarine, yeah. Can't believe it's not.
I believe it was Carl Lindbaum. I will never forget that name from now on. His name belongs in Let's Go Blues Radio lore.
I'm making a shirt. Carl Lindbaum's Carl Lipbaum.
I will buy one.
I will too.
While supplies last. Yeah.
Dude, seriously, you got to put that on the Let's Go Blues shop.
But he's not even a blues player.
But it relates to this awesome podcast, does it not?
It does. It does.
It's original content.
It really is. And that's comedy, folks. If you watched, was it 2 episodes ago that happened?
2 or 3.
Yeah, that was just
actually
organic.
Organic. Right. It is totally organic. It could be 4 or 5 episodes ago because we've put out so much extra content with the trade deadline show and the O'Reilly show.
That's true. Our timeline's all messed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're like Doctor Strange. Can't get our timeline right.
No. Just Blues signed Anton Malmstrom, which I just mentioned, to a 2-year entry-level contract. He was a college free agent defenseman. His contract starts next season, but he will report to the Springfield Thunderbirds and be eligible to play the remainder of the season and in playoffs in the AHL professional, on an AHL professional tryout. Kind of a goofy situation. He's 22. He recorded 6 points, 3 goals, 3 assists, and 16 penalty minutes in 33 games with Bowling Green University this season. Overall, the Österhaninge, Sweden, whatever, native has posted 7 goals, 6 assists, and 56 penalty minutes in 89 career NCAA games with Bowling Green over 3 seasons. So there you go. There you have it. There you are. Look for Anton Malmstrom to not be in the Blues.
Do you guys think
with the Blues
Bowling Green has a bowling team?
The Bowling Green bowling team?
Do you think they just call themselves the Bowling Green bowling team?
If they don't call themselves the Mean Green,
the Mean Green bowling team, the Bowling Green Mean team. Wait, I can't.
The Bowling Green Mean Green bowling team.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, so. Mike Liu,
all right, there's another shirt.
Green alum. Well, not former Bowling Green alum, a Bowling Green alum. Mike
Who
Lee,
is?
Mike Lee,
Oh, okay.
Rob Blake.
Rob Blake, who stole the Norris Trophy from Chris Pronger back in the day.
He did.
Yep.
He did.
Certainly
Thief.
did.
Pronger should have more
mean
than one.
green motherfucker.
He was also captain of the bowling team.
Good chance we don't see this kid, right? I mean, ever in the NHL. We saw Mitch Reinke pretty quick, and then we saw him called up one more time, and that was it.
Yeah,
but
I mean, yeah.
Blue, you never know. Sometimes these prospects hit, and you hope for the best.
Right, and now Mitch Reinke is running the bowling alley in Alton. That's where he was from, right? He was from Alton.
We've talked. This is not a bowling show, but for those who just
we're
tuned
trying
in,
to make it.
You'd never know.
Yeah, we're getting there.
You'd never know.
Let's go bowl radio.
Let's go bowls. Yeah, let's go bowling.
Fuck it, dude.
let's go bowling. Yeah, LGB. Let's go bowling. Let's go beer. It means all kinds of different things now. LGB.
I think we got our comment of the show here. Matt Harris. I don't know what's worse, Blues defense or Let's Go Blues radio slogan pitches.
Oh, it's the Blues defense. Our slogan pitches are awesome.
We got a couple here tonight.
Next up for the Blues, Thursday versus San Jose at 7:00. So that's a win. Saturday at Columbus, 6:00. That could be a win too. We can't be winning too many of these games. Columbus currently with the worst record in NHL, 20-37-7, 47 points. So they are clearly tanking for Bedard. Sunday versus Vegas at 6:00. Barbashev makes his return. That'll be he'll get a video tribute, right? So that'll be fun to see Barbashev.
Mike Hoffman got a video tribute.
Did he really?
I think he did.
Oh Christ.
Yeah.
How many? Someone asked online the other day, what is the minimum number of games you have to play to get a video tribute?
I think it's
not
one
many.
season by today's standards.
You have to do some. Okay, I would say you have to do something in that one season, like notable. But Mike Hoffman got one. Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure. Blues fans, please correct me, but I'm fairly certain I remember hearing, seeing on Twitter, like, wait a minute, did they really just do a tribute video for Mike Hoffman?
The fuck did Mike Hoffman ever do? He
scored a couple goals
in the playoffs.
He had a solid conversation on Let's Go Blues radio.
So what? He scored a couple goals.
He
actually did have a nice finish to the season.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you have to. I mean, there should be some kind of notable thing that happened. Like retiring, there's no rules like with retiring numbers, but it's got to be when you see it. Yeah, he left. Of course, he gets a video tribute when he comes back. I would say no to Mike Hoffman getting the video tribute if someone would have asked me. I'd say no, not a chance in hell.
But nobody asked you, Kurt. This is why the Blues need to consult Let's Go Blues radio before any decision.
Obviously, Barbashev gets one because he deserves it. The key part of that Cup team, well-liked player, played well for the Blues a number of years. I get it. Mike Hoffman, that kind of just tarnishes all the other video tributes that the Blues give out. Ugh. Now I'm just like in a bad mood because of that. Thanks. Mikey was a Blue Hoffman.
Right. What would be great is if Ottawa gave Mike Hoffman a video tribute.
Oh, that's never gonna...
He's the reason why Erik Karlsson left town.
Right. Yeah. Oh man, that we talked about that on the show too. The with their wives, or the one was Mike Hoffman's girlfriend or fiance, whatever she was, and Karlsson's wife. Oof. That was nothing was ever proven with that. But if you do, I did some in-depth research on that at the time and shared it on the show, and I actually understood why nothing was ever found, because in-depth research kind of shows that Hoffman's girlfriend isn't as guilty as people seem to think. But
it's what comes out in the media right away, right? And then people just, oh my God, I can't believe it. And And it's the same thing with we talked about Patrick Berglund or was it Berglund? No, probably more Laterra.
Well, Berglund was involved with some kind of a drug thing.
But it's like you hear about some crazy shit that happened, and then the verdict or whatever comes out of it.
Oh yeah,
it's very minimal news. It's when it first breaks.
The problem is that when someone's accused of something, everyone automatically assumes they're guilty, even though that's not how it's supposed to go. And then stuff like this, like with the wife and the girlfriend, they're not players. So like when the actual result of the accusation of that went to court or trial or whatever happened with it, whenever that's resolved, you never hear about it. It's hard to find out what happened because it's like, the interesting part is the accusation. If there's nothing was ever found, there's no one's guilty. That's like back page stuff. No one cares, and no one hears about it. So everyone always assumes that, and I'm not saying she's not, but everyone assumes that she is guilty of what she was accused of, just because that was big news for a while. Rapid fire tidbits from around the NHL. The Minnesota Wild joined a growing list of teams who aren't fully supporting the Hockey is for Everyone NHL initiative on Pride Night. The Wild did not wear their Pride jerseys that they were supposed to wear in warmups, according to Mike Russo of The Athletic, who's an asshole, by the way. Mike Russo is. Just saying, on social media, he is. Very sensitive person. The Wild had previously announced that they would wear their Pride jerseys and had also planned to auction off those jerseys after the game, according to a post on the club's website viewed by Russo that has since been deleted. Instead, the players used rainbow tape and Pride-themed pucks during warmups instead of wearing the jerseys. The Rangers and Islanders also chose not to wear Pride uniforms during the warmups earlier this season, and Flyers defenseman Ivan Provorov chose to sit out of warmups for a Pride Night game against the Ducks instead of wearing the themed jersey. Provorov cited his religious beliefs in his decision, and the NHL later said in a statement that players are free to decide which initiatives to support, which actually goes against what the NHL said before. What's in every NHL player's contract is that they are to participate in league initiatives. Obviously, and this is me talking, these are now likely team decisions. As far if one player does not want to wear the Pride jersey, the entire team does not wear them to avoid a Provorov situation where one player gets dragged through the mud. So, and I can see that being the case with the entire team, because obviously the entire team is not anti-hockey is for everyone or anti-LGBTQ. They're not. That's not.
No. Just leave it at what you said. Anti-hockey is for everyone. That's the key. That's really what it is. We're not all for everyone being part of hockey.
And that's what the message is. I think that is what's lost on so many people who are saying, well, let players make up their own mind on what they want to do. You shouldn't force a player to wear a jersey or force a player to support an initiative, which I generally would agree with you. But here's the problem. The initiative is hockey is for everyone. The initiative is everyone should be welcomed into hockey, no matter what your sexual preference is or how you live your life or what you have going on in your life. You know, if you're ostracized or you feel excluded in other parts of your life or the world, you should always be welcome at hockey. And, you know, that's a league initiative. They want people to feel welcome, even though they might not feel welcome elsewhere. And I'm not sure how many people actually, do feel that they aren't welcome in hockey games or by in the NHL, even though the NHL has had some pretty high-profile issues with people being discriminated against at all levels. But with that said, this is an initiative that is easy to get behind. Super simple. And it's not, you're not focusing on LGBTQ. You're just saying hockey is for everybody. And it's a simple thing to say. And people, well, who isn't for, everyone playing hockey? Yeah, that okay, great. Wear the jersey. That's the thing. All you have to do.
It's a minimal effort here. That's all this is. This is a very, again, we said this with the Provorov situation. Nobody asked Provorov to go march in the gay pride parade. Teams will never, ever ask players to. They may ask, But they might say, we're not, like, if you are uncomfortable, don't do it. But we would love for you to show up. That's the very most they would say. Put on a fucking jersey and wear it for warm-ups. That's it. That's not. Again, well, okay. I'll just say this because we beat this horse to death on this show
with Provorov.
Yeah, with Provorov, with other situations. You know, the back in the day when the Blues were having issues with saying hockey is for everyone. You know, it was Gay Pride Night. No. Last second, we're switching it to hockey is for everyone night. Like we've talked about this before, but the thing that I actually saw today that I agreed with, friend of the show, Steve Forney of the Springfield Thunderbirds, he actually said, do away with all theme nights. Like, and at first I thought, I mean, that, but you know what? He's right. He's right. If these teams cannot actually go all out for theme nights, don't fucking do them. Get rid of Military Appreciation Night. Get rid of Hockey is for Everyone Night. Get rid of them all, because clearly this is too big of an issue for teams to just deal with and players to deal with to show that hockey's for everyone. So clearly hockey truly isn't for everyone in some of their eyes. So let's just get rid of all theme nights and not have this issue anymore.
Well, Matt Harris can attest. He said he was called a slur at the Roadrunners hockey is for everyone night last weekend. So in his eyes, hockey is not for everyone right now. And
he's right.
To the people, to those individuals who, you know, called him that slur, they're the reason why these nights are a thing. They're causing the problem. You know, can you imagine if some players came out and said they didn't want to wear the military, the camouflage in appreciation of military night?
Oh my God.
Can you imagine it? What I mean, the outrage from, you know, people, that would have been
booed every time they touched the puck.
Yeah.
Slandered on social media. I mean, they would be destroyed.
I just
especially in America.
It's something that's so simple, and it's an idea that everyone it should be a no-brainer to get behind. You know, hockey is for everyone. You know, like you said, Jeff, nobody's asking anybody to march in a gay pride parade or to, you know, to whatever. You don't have to actively do anything except wear a jersey and say, hey, I believe that the NHL is for everyone. Everyone should be welcome to attend a game. Everyone should be welcome to play hockey in various leagues across the North America if they would like to. Whatever, you know, just hockey is for to be welcoming and inclusive, right? And it seems like nowadays that the term inclusive is almost like something that is people are coming out against, which is a really strange. I don't know. Maybe it's the way I was brought up, but that makes that there's no place for bigotry. To me, if you're against the initiative for the hockey is for everyone, you're just a bigot. You know, you're stepping out against a certain group of people just because of who they are, and it's bigotry. And that should never be supported ever. You know, anybody who doesn't want to wear the jersey and basically admitting they're a bigot, I don't know why anybody would support that action. I don't know. I'm welcome to discuss it with anybody, because I'm just genuinely curious as to people's mindset on how that works for them to say, no, don't wear the jersey.
And the thing that we're overlooking here too is the fact that these jerseys raise money for important causes, because they always auction them off at the end of the game, and they're not doing that now because nobody's fucking wearing them. They're not even making them now. So not only is this a message of hockey really isn't for everyone, it's a message of we don't even care enough to make money for important causes. And that's just fucking shameful.
Yeah. So,
absolutely shameful.
No jerseys getting auctioned off, and it's just goodwill. I mean, essentially, I guess someone could make the argument, what good do wearing the jerseys does actually help the situation? I think it's just support It's emotional support. It's goodwill. It's like, when someone, wears a shirt that supports someone who has cancer, right? You always see shirts that say Team So and So when they're trying to fight cancer. Oh, does those shirts really do any good? Well, it helps raise money a lot of times for the people that need it, and it shows support. It's a morale booster for people. I just, I don't know what harm. It's not hurting anybody. It's not stepping on anybody's beliefs to say hockey's for everyone. So,
but the problem is that people think that it does harm their own beliefs, and it totally doesn't. Right? Just allow other people space. Right? But too many people don't want to do that.
Ken Moore says, does baseball, NBA, NFL have pride events? Just curious. I know baseball does. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't follow the NBA. The NFL has.
We don't have the NBA in St. Louis, so it's hard to say.
The NFL, does the NFL have pride nights? Pride games?
I don't think they do, but the problem is that the difference is that the NHL introduced pride nights years ago, and now they're dialing it back. And it's like, if you're going to come hard with pride night, you got to stay with it. You can't just dial it back, because that sends the wrong message. And that's what's happening here is, well, we've had pride nights. We've worn pride jerseys before. We have the pride tape, all this stuff. We're doing all this stuff to show that you're welcome here. Well, okay, now this one player is not going to wear the jersey, so he's not going to come out for warm-ups. And now teams aren't going to wear jerseys anymore. Like, you're dialing back the idea that hockey's for everyone by doing this. So the fact that they did it at all in the first place was great, but when you dial it back, it's sending the opposite message.
Yes. It's like, okay, so I guess in a way the bullies are winning, right? And which is the whole point of this was to take a stand against that. And now the NHL itself, who had this initiative, is getting bullied by people. So that's sad. You know what? I don't even care if some players don't want to wear the jersey. I think I just want to have the conversation, as an explanation, as why. I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, I'm not going to say that you have to wear the jersey. I think you should, because it's a positive thing. But I'd love to hear. It's like, it's my religion. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's not the case. What religion is saying that that is not for inclusivity? If you're talking LGBTQ, if you're talking LGBTQ initiatives, that's different, because I guess some religions are speaking out against that, or against that. But if you're talking hockey is for everyone, that's completely different. So I just like to have the conversation. I'm not trying to say people should wear something or they have to. If a player doesn't want to wear it, don't wear it. But then you're going to be, singled out as someone. Oh, you're as an asshole. So no one wants that either. So the whole team then doesn't wear it. So the players get singled out. It's a mess. Ryan O'Reilly broke his finger and is out for at least 4 weeks after surgery. Good old Toronto Maple Leafs having Toronto Maple Leafs things happen to them. And actually, I think it was hit in the hand by Austin Matthews' shot in the second period of a 4-1 loss to the Vancouver Canucks at Rogers Arena on Saturday. Out at least 4 weeks. I think that's optimistic. I heard rumors he was out until May. 4 weeks is the minimum for the LTIR thing that he has to go on. So I think someone was saying, now this could be totally untrue, but some folks on social media were saying that it could be May before he is back.
But
TSN is reporting he will be back before playoffs.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
And it feels like the, not back before May contingent is the,
doomsday people.
The Leafs doomsday crowd. Right.
I hope he is back for playoffs.
Right.
I hope he is.
We've known, we've had the, the privilege of him being our captain for several years and know his dedication to the game. He will be back for the playoffs unless he can't win a faceoff, right? If he is not going to be in a position to win a faceoff and make an adjustment to play a different role on the team, he'll sit out, right? I think this overall could be a very good thing for the Leafs. You get arrested Ryan O'Reilly for the playoffs.
George Washington says in the YouTube chat, after about 10 minutes of research, I'm confident Mike Hoffman did not have a tribute video.
So not only did George Washington lead a group of troops across the river Delaware, the Delaware River. I don't know why I said
the river Delaware?
Is
the
that
river
like the
Delaware.
River Euphrates?
That sounded very proper.
Right.
Yes,
the river Delaware.
Delaware.
The River Euphrates.
On Christmas
Delaware.
Day to surprise British troops. He also says, and by the way, every time George Washington comments, I'm trying to have a fact about George Washington.
You haven't mentioned wooden teeth yet.
Damn it. You took my next one, man. Come on. Jesus. After about, his teeth were made of wool.
Sorry. I'm sure there's plenty more. He was the first.
Anyway, he says, after about 10 minutes of research, I'm confident Mike Hoffman did not have a tribute video. Again, you're probably right, Mr. Washington. Who am I to question the first president of the United States?
I thought that sounded fishy.
But I know there was a tribute video. I remember seeing people tweet about saying, why is this guy getting a tribute video? I can't remember who it was. It clearly was not Mike Hoffman, though.
You guys put on the screen, Matt Harris did say, like I tweeted, performative allyship does nothing. I'm less mad about not wearing the jerseys than I am of the NHL realizing they can back out of Hockey is for Everyone events with minimal backlash. And that's kind of what we touched on, that the NHL is getting bullied, and there's not enough outrage over it. And there's some people, bring it to light and they're outraged about it. But man, if you look at like some of the people that report on this and are outspoken against what the Wild are doing, what they didn't take a harder stance on wearing the jerseys. Man, all the comments from the I don't want to be a name caller, just bigots, right? They're just like,
oh yeah,
it just, I don't know, man. It seems like this country has gotten stupid over the past like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years.
On behalf of people who actually believe in the initiative, Hockey is for Everyone. I know I've told the story before, and I hate to single him out because he's a good friend of mine. But a friend of mine who's I believe Korean descent. He's felt the sting of racism by playing hockey with me. He's had people call him terrible names, and so seeing and embracing the message of hockey is for everyone, I truly believe that. So when I see that not actually being carried out, it really stings. So on behalf of people who actually care about the message hockey is for everyone, I'd like to be the ambassador to those who feel that sting and just say, man, I'm sorry. You all deserve better.
Doesn't it seem exhausting? Absolutely exhausting to be to take the stance that like a bigoted stance against Hockey is for Everyone, LGBTQ. Doesn't that sound isn't it so much easier to just let people enjoy things and do what they do, as opposed to being outraged at the way people want to live? You know what I mean? It's got to be exhausting, and the effort put forth and all this hate. I don't get it. It's just like, that's you're committed to the cause if you're that outspoken about it, because that's like ingrained in you, and I feel sorry for you. That's a lot of effort.
My wife and I, this is the exact term we use all the time, and people in both our families as well. Why can't you just let people live their lives?
It doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
I mean,
who cares what somebody, as long as they're not walking around the neighborhood shooting guns off or something crazy.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. But that's a problem.
Right. Well, short, quick story. New Year's, a neighbor of mine, a couple miles away, but a person I know who lives in my, close to my neighborhood. It's okay to shoot guns off at New Year's, right? Yeah, his house was hit. That's okay. But, we can't have gay people walking around here. What the hell?
Yeah, there's troublemakers.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of these gun crimes, the shootings in St. Louis, like there was some caught on a ring cam in Soulard. I don't know if you guys saw it. Like was it yesterday?
I did.
Yeah, about 30 or 40 shots, like a shootout in the street in a neighborhood. And I'm wondering how many of these gun crimes are caused by LGBTQ people pulling the trigger. I'm gonna say it's probably not very many at all.
Yeah.
Matt Harris says, as much as I dislike the entire organization, Ottawa's Pride Night was a master class in allyship. Okay, off my soapbox. So apparently Ottawa did things right.
I forgot why he hates Ottawa. Do you remember?
I don't know. Do you need a reason to hate an NHL team? I mean, other than just the fact that they did something to your team, or you just didn't like the way they, I don't know. I don't like Carolina for their, I mean, and I might be in the minority here, for their post-game choreographed
Storm Surge?
Their choreographed stuff after the game. Yeah.
The Storm Surge.
Is that what it's called? I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it.
Wow, you don't like those? I like them.
Yeah.
They're for the fans, man.
No, that's fine.
Love them.
That's fine. Personally, I don't like it. I'm not going to say they shouldn't do it. I don't like it. No, I don't.
All right.
If people like it,
so
Carolina fans like it. That's great.
You don't like it, but you're okay with them doing it because the fans like it.
Oh, I don't care if they do it. I'm just saying personally,
I'm fine with that.
I don't like it.
I like,
and the fans love it. That's great. They like it. That's fine. But me, it's like every time I see it, I'm like, that's kind of stupid.
I can respect that as long as you don't like sit here and just say this is ridiculous.
I'm not trying to cancel it. No, I'm not trying to cancel.
Bunch of jerks, right?
No,
bunch of jerks.
Bunch of jerks. Yeah, I think it looks stupid, but I'm sure I do some things that other people think look stupid too. So, just my opinion. Freedom of speech, Jeff. I can say whatever I want.
Not you and your Bud Light Orange.
No, yeah, that's true. I drink Bud Light Orange, so people can rip on that all they like.
Thanks to freedom of speech from Thomas Jefferson, brought up earlier in the show.
Who owns slaves, by the way?
I don't think it was actually.
We get into that. Thomas Jefferson and George Washington both owned slaves. Did they not?
Yeah, they did. They did. So, but Thomas Jefferson did establish religious freedom in 1786, I believe.
Freedom from religion, I guess. Right?
Well, I think it was just his bill was called religious freedom.
Okay.
I know too much about history. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Yeah. Seeing as how they, that wasn't you that said that. It was Bill that did it wasn't Zachary Taylor. You said somebody else's name.
Right. Martin Tyler.
Martin Tyler.
Yeah. Martin Tyler. Yeah.
Got Martin Van Buren and Zachary
Taylor
kind of mixed up there a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Austin.
I made a mistake.
Be prepared.
All right.
I'm bringing you on, Austin.
All right.
Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah. Austin's yelling at us. We gotta wrap it up.
Why am I being brought on?
I'm bringing you brought on because is there any Lamar Jackson news?
No. No.
For those of you who made our trade deadline show on Friday, that was a bit of a slip up by Austin.
And to my defense,
I read one tweet and I thought,
yeah,
you believe something you saw on the internet? Shame. For shame.
Yeah.
For shame.
That was actually like one of our screening questions on the the pre-hire questionnaire that you obviously lied on.
I thought you were supposed to keep this to a 90-minute show.
Everything you read on the internet.
God, our producer is awful.
Didn't we have like everything time stamped and Austin was supposed to keep this at 90 minutes?
I literally okay. All right. All right.
So to my defense on the Martin Tyler thing, he is the worst commentator in British soccer.
Oh.
Right? He hates Liverpool. There's some really great takes of people like mocking him while he calls Liverpool games. That's where Martin Tyler got in my head.
Okay.
But it was Zachary Taylor.
Bill's totally making all this up.
No,
save face.
No. Look him up.
I believe you. You're the soccer guy.
He was the voice of the FIFA series on on EA Sports until like 2013 when they figured out he was shit.
Oh, of course you say that as I buy FIFA 23, so I can't say that you're right.
But obviously, you better not play the intro. We're not starting another show.
Right.
Austin's going to kick us off the air here. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting kicked off. Bye, Austin. We hate you and love you.
Let's wrap her up. Unless you want to talk some more. Jeff, one more thing? No. Support
One more
for
thing. No, in all honesty, though, Summer Series, we're excited. We'll have more news as it comes on. I'm excited this year. I think you two are going to be pretty involved in this as well. Maybe not doing the shows, but at least behind the scenes. Should be a good time.
Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by ID Life, the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment of your DNA. Visit rockandthatidlife.com for more information. That's rockandthatidlife, and get 10% off by emailing Dustin at rockandthatidlife@gmail.com and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. And by Mike Burgoyne from Real Brokerage Realty. Visit strikewithmike.com today for all of your home buying and selling needs. That's strikewithmike.com. And by Center Ice Brewery, St. Louis' tasty hockey-themed beer. Check out your local beer vendors for availability. That's Center Ice Brewery beer. Please drink responsibly. That'll wrap up episode 20 season of season 11 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast. Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening. And thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the live show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. For Jeff Ponder, Bill Day, and producer Austin, I'm Kurt Price. Until next time, everyone, let's go beer.
Let's go C-I-T-Y, C-I-T-Y, city, city, city.
Oi, oi, oi. Let's go bourbon.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available.